Hi folks, today we're going to look at using the fraction button on your calculator, and that's this button here. Now on my version it looks like a coloured in block over a not coloured in block, so that one just underneath the abs button. Now the way you use it is if you wanted to put in 5/4, you could either press 5 and then that button, and then 4, and you would see on your screen 5, 4. Now 5, which puts 5 over 4 into your calculator. You could also press it at the beginning and press 5 and then just scroll down using that button, and then you can put 5/4 in. The same. So if I wanted to do the calculation 3/7 times 4/9, I would put it into my calculator. Now, I sometimes prefer to press that first, so 3/7 times 4/9 equals 4 over 21, which is the right answer, luckily. But what happens if we wanted to do a calculation with 3.5 times 2/5? How could we do that on our calculator? Well, this one's nice and easy. This one, we use the button. And we get it in okay. But how do we put this one in? Well, if you look above here, you can see that there's a different button, and I want you to press that one first, and it's in yellow, so I have to press the shift button first, and that will give me, so if I press shift and then the fraction button, that will give me an option to fill in like that. And you'll see that in the yellow, notice there's, in the yellow bit just here, there are 3 blocks for you to fill in. So using the scroll button to go through, you would scroll through and put 3.5, then times 2 over 5, and let's see what that comes to. Over a shift and that to get the mixed number symbol, 3 and 1/2, come out of there and times fraction point again, 2 over 5, out of there again, equals 7 over 5. And if I press shift S to D, if I press those 2 buttons, that'll change that to a mixed number. So that's handy to know too. So for your normal vulgar fractions and top heavy fractions, just use that button. But if you're going to use a mixed number, you have to press shift on the button. If you just put in 5, in here, if you just put in 3 and then press the normal fraction button, 1/2, it would look like 3.5, but it doesn't. The calculator isn't treating it as 3.5. It doesn't really know what's going on with that. Maybe I think that probably treats it as 3 times a half. So you have to press shift and get this symbol up for you to fill in. That's a really important point. Now, where this button comes in handy is if we're using time. Now, if I said to you, how long is it between 11:35 and 13:27, that could be quite hard. But if we treat this in terms of fractions, we stand a bit of a chance. So I could say that is 11 hours and then 35/60ths of an hour. So I'm taking into account that we've got 35 minutes, and 1 minute, there are 60 minutes in an hour, so 1 minute is a 60th of an hour. And I could make this 13 and 27/60ths. So I need to find out how long is it between these two. So when I'm finding out how much between, that's going to be a subtraction. So I'm going to put 13 and 27/60ths, so 27 minutes. Take away 11 and 35/60ths, that's 35 minutes. Let's put that into my calculator. So we've got, remember to press that first. So I've got the mixed number symbol. So I've got 13 and 27/60ths minus, and then press it again, 11 and 35/60ths equals, that gives me 28/15. Tricky that, isn't it? So I press Shift S to D, that's 1 13/15. Now that's quite tricky, but I'm going to say, right, okay, 13/50ths, I would like that in terms of 60ths. So I'm going to times that. I recognise that that's been times by 4, so I'd have to times that by 4. 13 times 4 is 52. So my answer overall is 1 hour and 52 minutes. Now, that may have dropped out a little bit harder than I intended it to, but it's something that you should consider thinking about using a calculator. Now, one of the errors that a lot of people make here is if it said the time 12:15, they would put 12.15. But actually, we know that if we were looking at 12:15 is a quarter of an hour, so you put 1/4 equals, and I could change that to a decimal, that's 12.25 actually. So you have to remember 12:15 is not 12.5, it's actually 12.25. If I said 3:20, 20 past 3, if I wanted to put that into my calculator, that is not 3.20, that is 3 and 20/60ths. So that button again, 3 and the 20 minutes gives us 3 20/60ths. And you can see that that is 3 1/3 hours, or 3.3 recurring, which is definitely not 3.20. So you need to be really careful with doing time on the calculator. My number one tip, any questions involving time, is take the minutes as a fraction over 60. So 11:35 is 11 whole hours and 35/60ths of an hour, and 13:27 is 13 hours and then 27/60ths of an hour. Okay, and remember, if you're doing a mixed number, it's shift and then that button, not straight away. Okay.